Welcome to this session on conducting effective project meetings. You can consider this session as part of managing the stakeholder engagement, also managing the communication when executing the project. So, meetings play a critical role in project execution, ensuring alignment, decision making, and issue resolution. However, poorly managed meeting waste the time, create confusion, and reduce the productivity. In this session, we'll discuss the facilitation techniques, meeting structure, and strategies to ensure meetings drive project success. And to start also by identifying the importance of having an effective project meeting. So, meetings are essential in project management for aligning the stakeholders, making decisions, and tracking the progress. However, ineffective meetings can be considered as waste of time and create frustration or confusion. So ensure within the let's say or the key importance that we are talking about here is the meetings can be used to align the stakeholders to track the progress and resolve issues. And these poor meetings lead to wasted time and miscommunication sometimes. Use a structured meeting to ensure the accountability and actionability. For example, here, let's say in a software development, a well run daily stand up meeting when running an agile project using the Scrum framework. So, when you run this daily stand up meeting, it keeps the team updated on blockers and priorities, whereas unstructured meeting leads to confusion and delays. Planning and structuring the project meeting. So, a structured meeting starts with a clear agenda. This helps to focus the discussion, allocate the time effectively, and ensure all participants are prepared and will, let's say, they have enough understanding on what is the meeting all about. That is a very important thing. When you conduct a meeting, ensure to have a clear agenda, or when you share the meeting, let's say, agenda, ensure that it's focused on certain topics to avoid, let's say, the confusion of the purpose of that meeting. So again, when you plan, let's say, to have a structured project meeting, first define the meeting objective and desired outcomes of that meeting. And then use an agenda to structure these discussions. You may also set a time limits and clear expectation from each topic. The essential roles in project meeting. You have four main, let's say, roles involved when conducting a meeting. The first one is the facilitator, which guides the discussions and maintains the focus. And here you, as a project manager, you work as the facilitator, the timekeeper, also non-taker sometimes, and participant who are contributing to the decision making which you are looking for. So the timekeeper here, uh, the timekeeper ensures the meeting stays on schedule, and the note taker who captures the key decisions and action times. And then it can, and that, it's very important to have this minutes of meeting to capture these key decision and action items to foster a culture of accountability. The participants who are contribute relevant insights and follow up on tasks. So clearly defining the roles in meeting prevents the misunderstanding and ensures the productivity, and also it fosters the accountability within the project team. And let's take an example here. Let's say in an IT infrastructure project, the facilitator can be the project manager who keeps the discussion focused, while maybe a note taker logs the action items for follow up. Maybe it could be also you as a project manager or one of your team members ensuring the accountability post the meeting. Facilitating and engaging discussion. So, engagement is a key productive discussion. Okay, the facilitator should encourage input, especially from the quieter participant, ensuring a balanced participation. So, you as a facilitator or a project manager encourage the active the participation and open dialogue. Use a structured questioning to gather diverse perspective. There are also some, techniques in agile, uh, the round robin, and some other, techniques that is used to ensure the participation in all of the meetings. By end of this, let's say, productive discussions ensures that you summarize the key points and document them to maintain the clarity and alignment. How to manage difficult conversation and conflict. So disagreements in meetings are natural, but they must be handled in a more constructive way. And the goal is here is a solution-oriented discussion. And to manage these difficult conversation conflicts, first address the conflicting opinions professionally. Also focus on facts, not emotions, okay? Because emotions are different from facts. So you as a project manager, you need to ensure on focusing on the facts, not emotions. You may also guide the discussion toward a solution, not blame. It depends on the project type. And there are some different project managers who enters the meeting just to blame the team member, or to throw the blame on a key stakeholder, which is not the right process here. So as I said, guide the discussion towards solution, not to find someone to blame. For instance, in a vendor negotiation, if two stakeholders disagree on cost versus quality, the facilitator should redirect the focus to project priorities and long term value, ensuring an outcome that aligns with the project objectives. How to leverage the technology for effective meetings. So, technology enhances the meeting efficiency, especially in distributed teams. You may use, video conferencing like Zoom or Microsoft Teams and other, collaboration and meeting softwares for remote meetings. You also can leverage the collaboration tools like, Miro or Moral for brainstorming. Also, there is this automated meeting scheduling tools and and minutes tracking. So utilize all of these capabilities that exist in today's world to have an effective meeting and to save the confusion within your meetings. For example, in agile software teams, they are using Jira dashboards during the sprint reviews to keep the discussion focused on backlog process, ensuring the visibility across the team. A very important topic here to ensure the meeting outcomes drive execution. Meeting must result in a clear actions or decisions. And recording the key takeaways um, ensures the decision translate into an execution, not just to waste the whole time for it, discussing the problem itself without focusing on the solution. So you need, as a project manager, to ensure documenting these decisions which are taking on the meetings, the action items, and the owners of these actions to ensure the accountability. Also, follow up on the commitments and deadlines. So, set a deadlines for these uh, action times with the owner of these action times to ensure the commitment. Um, there is also this use meetings or minutes of meeting to track the progress. Now, let's see some of these common challenges and pitfalls and how to avoid them. So common meetings problem can be mitigated with proper planning, and these pitfalls or challenges includes unclear objectives, and that you can solve it by defining the purpose before scheduling the meeting. For example, the lack of engagement. You can use interactive formats to keep everyone engaged and encourage the participation. One of also the challenges that might face when doing meetings is no follow up. So when you assign, let's say, an action items, or when you assign a decision that has been taken with a list of action items, you don't set, for example, an owner for that action item to be taken care of, and also without setting a deadlines. So let's say the owner of that action item does not have a clarity on the time needed to complete that action. So ensure assigning action items with deadlines and ownership to each of these actions. Let's take here an example. Let's say in a customer feedback meeting, if the stakeholders does not engage, incorporating polls and Q&As session can make discussion more interactive and valuable. So let's say if your stakeholder are not engaging, think of using different ways to push the stakeholders, to communicate and to collaborate with you to make the discussion more interactive and valuable. And to summarize our session on effective meetings, we say that project meetings should be a purpose driven, well structured, and action oriented. Using agendas, defined roles, and engagement techniques and technology ensures meeting add a value rather than just waste the time. By following these best practices, the project managers can transform meetings into powerful tools for execution and alignment.